Right, I've been asked to do a video about what I think about this Julian Assange Ecuadorial embassy drama. Well, I've heard recently Assange has come out and he said he might be coming out of the embassy or whatever. But anyway, I think the big issue here is what Britain wants the world to think of them. Now, WikiLeaks, yeah, they've broken secret laws or whatever of certain governments. Certain people credit them with showing the Tunisians how corrupt their government actually was, and that supposedly pushed them over the brink to overthrow their government. I don't know if that's true. You can only know if that's true by being on the ground in Tunisia at the time or whatever. Also, the guy who actually leaked these documents, what's happened to him? Well, he's in an American prison. He could be getting a death penalty, as so far as I heard, or something like. Um, Mike Huckabee, one of the Republican, he was one of the runners up to try and become president, um, or the Republican nominee back in the day. But this guy is some serious religious fundamentalist Christian, and I just find it strange that he's calling for the execution of people who've done WikiLeaks when he's meant to be a Christian. So, Mike, whatever happened to forgive and forget? Isn't that what Jesus said? Huh? I mean, people are saying it's putting military people at risk and all the rest of it, but how WikiLeaks would defend what they did is that they've leaked stuff that is bad, like with the stuff they leaked from Afghanistan and whatnot, and those things certainly were stuff that you know the coalition of the willing is not meant to be doing over there. What WikiLeaks have leaked. So is it really a bad thing? Is it not just a just showing people what's really going on? You know, um, and if we're supposed to be as transparent and as open as our democracies claim that we are in this side of the world, then why are they messing around doing madness like that? So WikiLeaks has obviously done a service in that respect, in my opinion, to show people what is really going on over there, and we can't really be taken in by the propaganda that they're feeding us. Um, does it put military people's dangers in lives? If it's got a name in there, sorry, does it put military people's lives in danger? If it's got their name in there, yeah, yes, of course, it does. But then you've got to think about, what are you doing over there? Is what you're doing over there morally just? If it's not, then why should you be protected if what you're doing is not just? So I think that having WikiLeaks there, maybe that's a good thing because it serves to protect us from people thinking that they can do things that are immoral over there and no one's going to find out about it. Because someone with a conscience, this guy who leaked the stuff to WikiLeaks, yeah, that American soldier or whatever, he obviously has a conscience. And that's why he's done it. Yeah. That's why he's reported these things that he thought were wrong that was going on over there. As to Julian Assange being charged for rape, um, he's been charged with like holding one woman down and sexually molesting her and stuff. Then he got another charge where he's held another woman down, and then he's meant to have fucked her without a condom when she was asleep. That's what he's meant to have done. Um, Now, he's had a wife and he's had a kid and all sorts of stuff. He had a custody battle for the kid. They divorced and everything, but the wife, has she said that that is in his character to do that? She's gonna know him. Like, I know one guy who's got done for being a sexual molestation, and although he denied it in the court and everything, I know that this guy, that is his character. I've seen him with other girls and how he's gone on. So for me that he definitely must have done it. Yeah, but I won't even name the guy. He's a prick anyway. But these people, if that's what they're on, then surely the people who've known them the best for years would have noticed that kind of tendency in them, because this rapist guy that I'm talking about, we all saw that in him. The way he used to go into girls, it wasn't surprised when he got done for that. Anyway, then that's there. So Assange is claiming that that is trumped up charges. Yeah, um, just to extradite him to Sweden, who would then extradite him to America, where he could be killed. Yeah, for revealing stuff that was immoral. So that's where I feel that the problem is. Both sides of the argument have got their credible points, yeah. But if we're really gonna, I don't know. And then you got to think about Britain as well. So the Ecuadorian embassy is taking Assange in and giving him asylum. Britain has told them that they, if Assange leaves, they're gonna arrest him straight away for skipping bail, and then he'll probably get extradited to Sweden, and they might even use their law that they created when PC Yvonne Fletcher was shot outside the Libyan embassy. They might even use that law which lets Britain raid an embassy, and so it will, disregard the diplomatic immunity. If they do that, I don't think personally that's a good look for Britain, yeah, to do that, because you're disrespecting Ecuador's sovereignty, because that's their embassy in England, in Britain, yeah. So them doing that, I don't think that's a good idea. They've said they won't do it to Ecuador, but then they've said they will do it as a last resort. So that is a contradiction in terms for me anyway. I think, how can you say we're not going to raid you, but then we will raid you in a last resort? Don't make no sense. So I think Britain, you've really got to look at yourself, and you've got to think, what do you want the world to see you as? Just a bully, which already the world is seeing you as America's, poodle or whatever, get me? They're already seeing you as that. But now you have to think, do you want to be seen as a bully, like just going in there and getting this geezer out just so he can be, we don't know if he's been, he's saying that the CIA have trumped up those charges in Sweden against him, because there have been calls for his death in Sweden and all, I mean, in America, and all this kind of stuff. One of the Canadian ministers even advocated assassinating him, yeah, and now they've taken that back, but they said it. So from when you can hear people who are in government, in power in democratic countries calling for this guy to be killed, when you hear that he's had these charges against him, and when you look under it and then they want to extradite him to America, then you think, okay, it's looking a bit dodgy. Yeah, it really is looking a bit suspect. That's what makes it look suspect. The fact that these people want to kill him, and they've said it in public, they want him dead. Yeah, so I don't think Britain should storm the embassy. They shouldn't do it. It'll be It's the wrong message to send out, unless you want to be known as a bully country, yeah, which I'm afraid to say a lot of people who agree with your war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan, they think you're a bully country anyway. So you got to think, do we want to play into their hands by doing this, or do we want to show that we're not what we're being stereotyped as right now? Obviously, there are people who think the war in Iraq was a good thing and the war in Afghanistan was a good thing, but a lot of countries around the world are pissed about it. So you've got to really, be a bit careful about what you do here. So Dave Cameron, think about it, mate, and don't rush in there like a dickhead. Because let's face it, you're not the sharpest tool in the box, and you've kind of showed your true colours in other scenes. So I hope that you're not a twat in this one. But me personally, I don't have much faith in David Cameron or this government. People might think, oh, Nick Clegg's a liberal softie, so he might restrain Dave. But Nick Clegg has shown already that he doesn't give a fuck about liberal policies or liberal viewpoints. Yeah, he's willing to toe that line. So anyone who puts their faith in him, forget about it. It's all down to Dave. If Dave says they're raiding the place and they're gonna get this guy out, they're gonna raid the place. And I wouldn't be surprised if Julian Assange got killed when they raid the place. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I hope it doesn't happen because that would show what fucked up state of affairs we're in. Yeah, but anyway, I think they shouldn't raid it. Don't raid it. He's got away from you lot. You know, that's it. Don't be dumb.